Welcome to your weekly ticket. Gal Gadot has been cast as Cleopatra in a new movie about the Queen of Egypt. Patty Jenkins, the director behind Wonder Woman, will lead the epic historical drama for Paramount Pictures. According to Variety, the studio reportedly defeated Apple, Universal, Warner Brothers, and Netflix in the auction to win production rights. Gadot confirmed the news on Twitter, writing, "I love embarking on new journeys. I love the excitement of new projects, the thrill of bringing new stories to life. Cleopatra is a story I wanted to tell for a very long time. Can't be more grateful about this A-team." Here's some Halloween month news. There's a new Resident Evil adaptation happening. Johannes Roberts said that the reboot will be an origin story adaptation with ties to Capcom's classic survival horror games. The story will be set in 1998 in Raccoon City. Casting for the film includes Kaya Scodelario of Maze Runner fame and Ant-Man's Hannah John Kamen, who will play Claire Redfield and Jill Valentine respectively. Robbie Amell, Tom Hopper, Avon Jogia, and Neil McDonough will also star. And Benedict Cumberbatch will star in Spider-Man 3 as Doctor Strange in what is said to be a mentor role for Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Similar mentorship-like roles were previously held by Robert Downey Jr. and Samuel L. Jackson. Doctor Strange and Spider-Man previously interacted with one another in Avengers Infinity War. Cumberbatch is also slated to appear in a second Doctor Strange movie titled Multiverse of Madness, directed by Sam Raimi. Both films are supposed to begin filming this year. There's a reason why films like Poltergeist, You're Next, and Panic Room rank highly among movie fans. It brings one of their worst fears to life: being trapped inside a house with an attacker or entity. The thrills of home invasion and haunted house movies offer some of the most intense horror and some of the biggest surprises. So this week we're taking a look at Fandango Now's list of the most terrifying horror in the house films. And today I'm joined by film critic and host of the Unspooled podcast, Amy Nicholson, who's gonna help us break down this list of horrors in this house. Hey Amy, how's it going?
It's not bad. It's a little spooky. How are you?
It is. That's your house, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you think I should put some lights on?
You know what? I think it's good for now. I'll just keep an eye on what's going on behind you. So, Amy, what is your favorite film from this list? Okay,
I had to pick two because this is a really, really, really good list. I thought that I would knock on your door with two picks from deep in the old basement. You know, the first one that I wanted to talk to you about, it stars one of the most famous legends in Hollywood who adds class to a home invasion flick. It's Wait Until Dark. Have you seen this movie?
No.
Oh, let me tell you about it. Oh, Wait Until Dark stars the great Audrey Hepburn. You know her for being like the romantic heroine in Breakfast at Tiffany's and Sabrina. Audrey Hepburn already had 4 Oscar nominations and 1 win when she agreed to be in Wait Until Dark, playing a blind woman whose house is invaded by 3 murderers. Now, the murderers are trying to get into her house because they want to steal back some heroin that's hidden in a doll that she doesn't even know that is there. But really what's going on is that this is a horror film that is so physical and mental. Like, it gets into the psychology of being in the paranoia of being a woman who's like walking in her house right by a murderer that she doesn't even know is there because she's blind and she can't see him, but she can sense that something is wrong. I mean, Audrey Hepburn is no like Vin Diesel or Liam Neeson, so she is definitely outmatched in this. And if you're wondering, like, how does she defend herself? How does she fight herself back? I mean, the title is a hint, but watching her fight back is really gripping. I mean, so much that Wait Until Dark, it didn't even just like hurt the Oscar winner's like classy reputation. It actually got her 5th Oscar nomination.
Okay, yeah, I want to see that. I want to see Audrey Hepburn do some action. I think that's overdue in my life.
Yeah, Audrey
Hepburn, a second one?
Horror, Oscar-winning action. What else do you need? Yeah, I do. Well, for my second pick, I was thinking, what is scarier than your house getting invaded by 3 killers? The only answer is, how about 10,000 killers?
Oh, that's worse. That's definitely worse.
I mean, I'm talking about Arachnophobia, the 1990 horror comedy. Now, that one, I have to admit, even though it's a horror comedy, I find it really hard to laugh at because I am so freaked out by spiders. Just especially ones that can bite you once and then you shrivel into a mummy and you die. I mean, if you haven't seen it, all you really didn't know is that the killer Venezuelan spiders in this film are nasty. And everybody's favorite swaggering gasbag John Goodman is in this film. He's amazing. He plays like a blowhard exterminator who does not take these spiders seriously enough. But I think what makes this movie so effective, you know, way more even than like an exorcism movie where people do dumb stuff that makes stuff worse, is that spiders are real. And literally everything that people do in this movie that puts them in danger is stuff that you might do today. A person dies turning on a lamp. So I have to admit, like, I'm kind of surprised, Kale, that Arachnophobia was marketed to kids, because this movie personally ruined my life.
I actually am still haunted by the one where the spider is in the shower. He comes down from the shower head just while someone's just doing the thing they do every day. But that makes me wonder, does it change the experience when you watch it at home, like a home invasion or a haunted house movie to you?
It does, but you have to be strict with yourself, I think, as a viewer. Like, if you want to get the full haunted house horror film experience at home, you have to turn off all the lights and you have to put your phone down. If you're distracted at all for a minute, it'll take you out. Like, I think a home haunted house horror film, those are really hard to say. It demands from you complete respect to the art of getting scared out of your mind.
I still would rather not do that alone. That like amplifies it 100%. What about just like a haunted house movie? Like, what do you think is like a good haunted house movie from this list?
Well, the one that really popped out to me is What Lies Beneath, the film from, I think it's 2000, by Robert Zemeckis. We don't really think of like Robert Zemeckis as the man of horror, but this film, I really love it. You know, it's kind of a Hitchcockian ghost story starring Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford when they are both just so beautiful. And what Lies Beneath is about is that, you know, they're this perfect couple, and then Michelle Pfeiffer starts to realize that there's a spirit in her house trying to tell her something, and she's trying to tell her something bad about her husband. So it's got that whole element, not just of ghosts knocking over pictures, of people thinking you're going a little bit crazy, but of not being able to trust your loved one. And I don't know if it's a spoiler to say that the ghost is real. This is just, I think, a really perfect, tiny little film. And if you want a fun fact about the making of it, Robert Zemeckis made this film during the making of Castaway. You know, it took him forever to make Castaway because Tom Hanks had to change weight so much. So in one of the periods when Tom Hanks was, I think, gaining weight, he was like, I'm just going to go make this little film. And it is a great little film. So What Lies Beneath, highly recommend.
It's like, you go get fat. I'm going to make this scary movie. And I do want to make a correction. Robert Zemeckis, I do think of him with horror because he made one of the scariest scenes in cinema where they dip that shoe in the dip in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and it haunts me to this day.
No,
so
you're right.
That Robert Zemeckis is, I agree with you on Robert Zemeckis. But anyway, Amy Nicholson, thank you so much. Where can people find you?
Everywhere. Unspooled is launching its second season right now, where we are building, you know, in our first season, we went through the whole AFI 100 list, and now we're building our own. We're actually doing a little horror series right now, everything from the original 1931 Frankenstein up to the Babadook. So you should join us.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you. Bye.
Available to watch at home on Friday, Love and Monsters.
Don't move.
Let me see it.
Don't move, Amy.
Let me see it.
Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm. I love it.
That's super sweet, because it's terrible. Oh my God.
Love and Monsters is set in a post-apocalyptic time when giant monsters have taken over Earth's surface, forcing mankind into underground colonies. One young man decides to risk it all to find his high school sweetheart, and along his dangerous journey, he makes unlikely friends, including a heroic dog and a pair of survivalists who help him survive the monster-infested road to true love. Also available to watch at home on Friday, The Devil Has a Name.
The net present value rule states, if you make more money doing it than what it would cost if you get caught doing it, continue doing it.
Widowed, broke, and adrift, farmer Fred Stern finds a new purpose in life when he learns that a psychotic matriarch of an oil company is polluting his water. But as his crusade against the powers that be spill out of the courtroom and into his personal life, Fred must find a way to avoid the ruin of his farm, his family, and his dream. Inspired by bizarre true events, The Devil Has a Name comedically pulls back the curtain on the culture of greed that poisons corporate America from sea to polluted sea. The film stars David Strathairn, Kate Bosworth, Haley Joel Osment, Martin Sheen, and Edward James Olmos. All right, that's it for today, but check out that full list of horror in the house films in the link below and leave a comment and let us know which one's your favorite. I'm Kale, and I'll see you next time.